Hello, and welcome back to Umineko when they cry. That's right, we're back again. And I believe we're just about to arrive on the island of Rokkenjima. Whew. Okay. The boat gave a big shudder. Seems we've docked at the harbor. The boat driver came out and jumped to the pier with the mooring rope. A large man in a tuxedo was waiting there for us with a warm smile. I didn't recognize his face, but judging by his clothes, I guessed he was a servant of the Ushirmiya head household. Welcome home, milady. You were so late in returning that I began to worry. Thanks for caring. This moron got so scared we had to slow down. He was seriously annoying. Shut up! Someday when the shoe's on the other foot, you'll remember this. Ugh. At this rate, word'll spread to the whole family and I'll be the big conversation piece during dinner. Even without this, everyone would be talking about me because of that 6-year gap. But now I've given them an even juicier topic. Damn it, why does the Ushirmiya head family have to live on this isolated island? In the meantime, the boat had finished its mooring. A small plank was lowered so that we could get down. One by one, our parents came up from inside the boat. You must all be quite tired from your long trip. Madam, please allow me to assist you. I don't like this guy, he's so try-hard. Like, bro. Thank you. It's been a while, Goda-san. How are you? I thank you for your concern. It is always my pleasure to serve. Butler-kun, isn't this your first time meeting Goda-san? If I'm not mistaken, you weren't working here 6 years ago, right? Indeed. So please, allow me to greet him for the first time. It is an honor to meet you, Battler-sama. I'm pretty confident about my height, but you're huge. This is definitely our first meeting. I'd never forget meeting a big guy like you. It's a pleasure. I'm Battler. I was looking forward to meeting you. I'm Goda, your servant, and I've been working for the Ushirmiya head family since the year before last. And I believe that sound means we've just gotten a new character. Yep. Servant Goda. A servant hired as a cook. He hasn't served this family long, but through his earlier jobs and previous experience, he has cultivated a talent for entertaining guests. Because of this, he is very highly regarded as a servant. Try hard. What does he look like in the... Oh. Yeah, we're gonna keep you right there. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. If there's anything you need, please feel free to rely on me at any time. Goda-san, it's been some time. It has been too long, George-sama. Please, allow me to assist you. As usual, you're a pro at welcoming guests. If you ever need a job, just let me know, okay? I'd hire you anytime. You do me too much honor. Please, allow me to assist you, Hideyoshi-sama. Goda-san then lent a hand to everybody as they disembarked, greeting them as they passed. His speech and mannerisms had the refined polish of a professional. He was very graceful, in contrast with his initially tough-looking appearance. His large size made him seem a bit scary at first, but he was much more polite than my first impression had led me to believe. He claimed to have served on the island for 2 years, but he had doubtless worked at a similar job somewhere before. After everybody disembarked, the mooring rope was untied and the boat started to steer away from the harbor. It was probably returning to its home port on Najima. The captain waved his hand in farewell. Maria conscientiously waved her hand back. Now that I think about it, that must be why I felt something out of place for a while now. Can't hear the cries of the seagulls. Oh my gosh. Umineko, when they cry? When the seagulls cry? Oh my gosh, he said it. He basically said it. He basically said the thing. Seagulls? The birds? I remember correctly, whenever we came to this island in the past, the seagulls always greeted us with their lively nya cries. Because of that, whenever I heard the cries of seagulls anywhere else, I get the feeling that I'm coming to a family conference. Except for the small part of the island where those of the Ushirimiya head family live. Rokkenjima has been left uncultivated, which apparently makes it a paradise for wild birds. Supposedly, there was a cliff somewhere that housed a huge seagull colony, so this island was always full of seagulls. Not having those seagulls here to greet us made me feel a bit lonely. What's wrong, Battler-kun? Oh, Aunt Rosa. Nah, it's nothing really. I was just thinking it's a bit lonely without the cries of the seagulls. My, that's true now that you mention it. Even though they're always so noisy, today there isn't one to be seen. Why no seagulls? Maybe it's because the seagulls are having a get-together somewhere too. Maria, did you want to see the seagulls? Wanted to see them. Still, it's a bit strange there isn't even a single one around. Maybe Jessica grilled them all and ate them. The hell? Don't say disturbing stuff like that. Don't get Maria believing it. Jessica Oni-chan grilled him. Jessica Oni-chan grilled him. Oh. I did not. Why the hell would I do something like that? That's right. Jessica grilled him. Skin him, meatballs, liver and onion. Slim and meatballs, liver and onion. As I made fun of Jessica, Maria tagged along, looking like she was having fun. Well, it's better than how ominous she was being on the boat. Ooh, I've never guessed she was such a good sport. Alrighty then, from today on, I'll make you my #1 follower. As I smiled at her, she beamed, looking overjoyed, possibly because she was happy about this little connection we'd made with each other. That's not it, Maria-chan. I've heard wild birds are attuned to changes in the weather and atmospheric pressure. The weather will probably get worse tonight. The seagulls might have returned to their nests early. No, not grilled? Jessica Oni-chan didn't grill them? No! I wouldn't do something like that. Battler, you admit right now that you lied. Battler-kun, Maria-chan is a naive girl, so she takes even jokes seriously. You should choose your jokes more carefully. George Aniki gently scolded me. Even though I outstripped Aniki in height, Aniki was still Aniki, of course. There was no choice but to obediently apologize. Sure, my bad. Maria, that was a joke. The seagulls are all taking it easy in their nests today, that's all. Battler lied? George Oni-chan told the truth? Had she actually been tricked, despite all that fun she was having? Her pure eyes made me feel guilty. Maybe I went a little overboard with her after all. Yeah, that's right. What George and Nikki said is true. The weather's bad, so they probably went home for the day. It doesn't mean they're gone. Right, Aunt Rosa? That's right. Tomorrow, when the weather gets better, I'm sure they'll come back so we can hear them cry meow meow like they always do. Meow meow. I can't actually do a seagull sound. I don't think I've ever heard a seagull. I don't live by the sea. I've actually never been to like the ocean before, ever. I'll wait until after the weather gets better and they come back. Gonna wait until tomorrow. Gonna wait until the weather's better. Woohoo! Maria was in a lighter mood and was looking forward to tomorrow when the seagulls would come back and fill the skies. Well, actually, I've been to the coast. I've been to the Gulf of Mexico, but that was years ago, and yeah, that was one day. Still, George Aniki really was amazing at taking care of kids. I think I remember Aniki taking good care of me as well when I was a brat 6 years ago. Aniki, that's probably your gift. George-kun is amazing at taking care of young kids. If you wanted to, I I'll bet you'd do great with a job in childcare, don't you think? Yeah, it's almost like George Nissan was born to do something like that. Personally, I think that'd suit you better than doing business in some company president's office. Oh no, childcare is a fine career path, but it's not a job where merely liking children is enough. You really are modest, George-kun. But Battler-kun is quite good with children too. Just a second ago, even though it didn't last long, Maria seemed to be having a lot of fun. Please keep on playing with her like you did just now. Just choose your jokes more carefully, okay? Giggle. Aunt Rosa winked at me, giggling a little. She's a real mother, I thought to myself, who's happy to see Maria having fun. Yeah, she seems the most, normal out of all of the family or parents we've met so far. Because, I mean, most normal of those from Ushiromiya blood. Because, I mean, Rudolph is Rudolph. And Ava is, very spirited. Hideyoshi is just a little jokester, he's kind. And, Kiri, I like her. I like Kiri, but Rosa is the most, like, down-to-earth, I think, besides how she was a little mean to Maria earlier. Come on, Rosa. You brats too, what the hell are you doing? Let's get going. Okay, we're coming. The old bastard was waving for us to hurry up. Yeah, we needed to get moving. We might as well have this conversation after setting our luggage down in our rooms. Now then, everyone, allow me to lead you to the guest house where you will be spending the night. Please, this way. You know, all this effort just to spend one night? Like, honestly, make it a whole trip. Why does it have to be just some random day in November? It is November, right? I think it's November. Goda-san called to everyone and led the way. Kumasawa-san brought up the rear. This is very nice looking. I really do like the backgrounds for this game. I understand some people don't like the photos with the filter over them, but there's just something so charming about it. I mean, I understand that the PS3 version has, like, actually hand-drawn backgrounds, but I just think the vibe is more set with the more realistic backgrounds. A serpentine, twisting path led through a dim forest. It ran a bit uphill. I'd guess the path was made all this twisty so the slope wouldn't seem too steep. But personally, I'd have been happier if they'd had the guts to make some stairs in a straight line. No doubt they made the path twist on purpose, to put on airs of distance and important. Yeah, I'm not a fan of stairs that do that either, because it takes longer. Like, just let me go up a steep hill. Cause in the end, it's less steps to take. Like, I'll take I don't know, effort over distance, something like that. Before long, we saw garden-style stone steps. From here on, I do have some memories. Go up these, and at the top of the stone steps, we saw a beautiful guest house. I wonder where they took the pictures at, or if, you know, they were found online. I doubt they were online. I feel like these were taken on location. I just wonder where. I don't want to look things up though, because I fear I'll spoil myself somehow. I just have that kind of unluckiness. Its facade was lovely, of course, but more importantly, we couldn't enter its doors without having our hearts stolen away by the splendor of the beautiful rose garden spreading before it. It's as beautiful as ever this year. A real delight for the eyes. After climbing the stone steps, the people greeted by this rose garden gave voice to their impressions one by one. Is it just me, or are the flowers a little less lively this year? Well, there is a storm coming. Maybe they're also adapting to the, or maybe they're just attuned to the weather as well. It's probably because it wasn't that hot this summer. Ugh, too bad they can't have the heat I have here. The, temperature the other day, it was like 101. but the feels like temperature was almost 120, and I was inside and feeling it. I also believe that was a factor. Sadly, this year's blooming is a tad inferior when compared to last year's. Even so, it was a delightful rose garden. I remember that even 6 years ago, huge numbers of roses had greeted us every year. This rose garden was the first thing that greeted the people who came to Rokkenjima. Even our parents, who came every year, couldn't help but give voice to their admiration. In fact, it seemed to have undergone a power up from the garden in my memories of 6 years ago. I mean, I like roses. They're pretty enough, but I had to do some research on flowers some months ago, and from that I found that I think my favorite looking flower is borage. Just the blue coloring of it is really nice looking, and also is pretty easy. It was pretty easy to draw because I was drawing naturally. I am an artist. I'd like to share that with people. I am an artist. I drew my profile picture and my banner, though the banner is significantly less effort. It's more of a placeholder until I figure out what I want to do with myself. This place is always so amazing. It would be wonderful to have a rose garden like this at home. Give it up. Who do you think would take care of it? Roses are a real pain with bugs and diseases to worry about. What a downer, Rudolph. Well, from what I've heard, Kiri-Nissan takes care of her rose every day and makes sure no bugs get anywhere near it, right? Oh! Huh? What are you talking about? Okay. That's right. Though in this person's case, the rose goes after the insects like some nasty carnivorous plant. So that's what you mean. Come on, Rosa, can't you give that a rest for just today? I've put that sort of thing completely behind me. I wonder. After all, you're a womanizer on an almost genetic level. No need to worry, Rosa-san. When a rose gives you too much trouble, it's always best to snip it at the root. Oh, such frightening talk this is. Guys who are popular with the ladies are always forced to live dangerously. I sure hope I turn out a bit prettier in my next life. Hideyoshi-san, like I keep saying, it isn't like that at all. And Kiri, stop it, you're freaking me out. Stand up for yourself, man. You've made my rose wilt. Oh, you're pathetic, bro. Hey, Maria-chan, look over here. Please ignore this. The adults having an inappropriate conversation. These roses are especially magnificent. Magnificent roses. Ooh. Smells pretty sweet. Look, this suits my elegance perfectly. Hey, cut it out. Maria's gonna imitate you and get hurt by the thorns. She yelled at me as I leaned in to smell the rose's scent with an exaggerated gesture. I thought she was overreacting, but when I turned around, I saw Maria imitating my every gesture and George and Nikki smiling broadly at us. Hey now, Maria-chan, be careful. Rose thorns can hurt. Huh? George Oni-chan, only this rose is strange. Ooh. Strange? What's wrong? Maria pointed at a single rose. I immediately understood why she found it odd. In the midst of all these magnificent roses, one single rose was just starting to wilt. There wasn't any particular reason. Some roses flourish and others wilt. That's all there was to it, but Maria seemed very concerned about the only unhealthy one in the group. It must have made her feel lonely. She feels sad for this rose because it's the only one that isn't healthy? Ooh. The others are all healthy, but this one's sad. Well, they all bloom and wither at their own paces. I'll bet this one's just starting to wilt early because it got to bloom before any of the others. Yeah, that's right. It probably just bloomed like crazy, fulfilled its duty, and went to sleep. You should get so worked up about it. It seemed that Maria's pure, sensitive nature was making her feel some emotional pain for the rose that wilted alone. Even though she understood the logic of it, it still felt lonely to her. Then, Maria-chan, why don't you look after this rose until we leave? Huh? George Aniki straightened up and felt around in his pocket. He then took out the wrapper from the candy he had been sucking on the plate. He twisted it into a thin string and gently tied it to the rose as a sort of marker. Hey, that's pretty cute. Let's mark it with this. Later on, you could come and give it some water. I'm sure Mr. Rose will be happy. You know, this kind of reminds me of the game Ebe. Shout out to everyone who knows Ebe. What a good game, but you know, all the rose talk and, you know, wilting rose. And what a great game. I played it, I don't know how long ago, but back before it had gotten the re-release, so I had, you know, the old version with all the old stuff. I don't think I ever beat it, because I do get freaked out pretty easy from horror games, but I have, of course, seen, like, all of the endings, and I've watched other people play it quite a few times. Ooh, come to give it water! I think you should give Mr. Rose here a name. I'm sure that'll make it happy, and you'll get to know it a little better. A name? Name. Ooh. Though she still wore her usual sullen face, Maria crossed her arms and began to consider this intently. At the very least, she appeared to have been completely pulled out of her slump. Nice going, Aniki. George Nissan has always been really understanding. Can't help but respect him. Yeah, I guess he was just born that way. We've got to start picking up tips. Was this garden just as magnificent when you all were kids? It was only after I stopped living here that it grew so big. Before that, the garden was simpler, though I'm still attached to that one. Nissan fiddled with it too much, with that vaguely bad taste of his. I liked it much better before. Ava, you've got to think positive. Set aside how it used to look, its beauty now is something to be admired. You'll be able to relax a lot better if you look at it that way. I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying that I wanted you to see this garden the way it was before, too. Everyone, if you please, I shall guide you to your rooms now. Goda-san called to everyone to ask if we were ready. But our hearts had been completely stolen away by the rose garden that none of us had seen for a year, so we didn't pay much attention to him. Us? Battler, you haven't seen it in 6 years. You can't be in that us. Since we weren't a travel group, it wasn't like we had a strict schedule to follow. Besides, since our parents were visiting their old home, full of nostalgia, it wasn't like they had to let themselves be urged on by anyone or anything. Understanding the situation, Goda-san continued to wait, smiling widely, until our parents got tired of the roses and told him to guide us to our rooms. Oh? Hey! If it isn't Canon-kun. It's been so long, how are you doing? Uncle Hideyoshi suddenly shouted. In the direction he was waving was a slender boy. Meeting him right after a huge man like Goda probably emphasized his small stature. The boy was in the middle of transporting piled-up gardening tools and the like in a wheelbarrow. When he realized he was being called to stop, he set down the wheelbarrow, took his hat off, and bowed his head. Good afternoon. I figured he was probably younger than me, and I realized by the general atmosphere surrounding him that he was another servant. He greeted us in response to Uncle Hideyoshi's call, but he seemed like he might be pretty unsociable most of the time. It was a greeting that lacked feeling. When Goda-san noticed that our interest had shifted towards him, he went to the boy's side and introduced him to us. Battler-sama, allow me to introduce you. You know... Oh, there's my mouse. Canon has the Ushiramiya crest. Goda does it. Is it like a seniority thing? Wait. Here, let me wait for the introductions, and whenever his thing shows up, I want to look at something. Battler-sama, allow me to introduce you. This is one of the servants of the Ushiramiya head household. Kanan-san, greet our guest. I'm pleased to meet you. I am the servant, Kanan. Yep, my first impression wasn't wrong. Okay, let's see. I want to see if... Okay, she doesn't have the crest anywhere either. What makes him so different? Also, the shorts and the socks. Servant Kanan, a young servant. He performs his duties silently and diligently, but is not so highly regarded as a servant due to his unsociable nature. There are multiple other servants with the On character in their pseudonyms. He and Shannon just happen to be the ones on duty that day. Shannon, who we haven't met yet, though I assume will probably go here, just based on, you know, logic and reasoning. Let's see. Oh, we don't get to see what his socks would look like in a new style. He's got such like a tapered waistline. What? Jesus. Like, oh, okay. Nothing's gonna beat Rosa. Or actually, let's see. Okay, Ava. Why are they all built the same? Kiri? Yep, Kiri too. Everyone has got. Oh, most everyone. Okay, like, most people are at an, like a 3/4 view, but then some people face head on, like George standing straight forward, Rosa, or Maria standing straight forward, and Kumasawa. Crazy. Couldn't make up your mind, huh? Was it the same for... No, it's not. Huh. I'm probably being crazy. Okay, let me get back to this. He seemed to be unsociable, or at least not so good at talking, compared to Goda-san, who was extraordinarily polished as a servant. You can help but feel an inexperience typical of his age. When Goda-san urged him in a whisper to give a bit more of an introduction, the boy named Kanan only cast his eyes downwards. Oh, I can't remember if I said what I said, but I was thinking, well, maybe Kanan has served here longer, and like the crest comes with seniority or something. But since Kumasawa doesn't have a crest, and she's been here a while, I wonder what allows him to have the crest and what doesn't, because, you know, non-family members don't get it, because Hideyoshi doesn't have it, and Kiri doesn't have it. So, curious. Kanan-san, could you perhaps give them a little more of a greeting? No, because we are furniture. Oh, is that how we treat people in the Ushiramiya household? He didn't seem to be refusing to greet us out of spite. Rather, he seemed to have fallen silent because he didn't know what else to say to us in greeting. Well, Kanan-kun doesn't tend to talk much. He might not be that sociable, but deep down he's a really good person. Okay, Jessica. Don't get him wrong. You've been working hard here for 3 years, haven't you? Pretty sure you started a year before Goda-san, right? Even though he wasn't exactly giving a terrible first impression, Jessica hurriedly backed him up. I see. Apparently his unsociable nature causes him trouble a lot. Okay then, nice to meet you. I'm Battler. I'm 18. How old are you? I can't tell if this is appalled or distressed. It looks like a mix of both, if I'm being honest. He fell silent, as though wondering whether or not it was a question he'd have to answer. But here again, Jessica plowed ahead. If I remember correctly, Kanan's 2 years younger than us, so 16, right? Yes, that is correct. It looked like he would have preferred not to tell us his age if he were given the choice. It was probably because he thought we'd look down on him for it. I remember that when I was around his age, I hated being asked how old I was by adults. Oh wait, he started working here when he was 13? What kind of operation do we have running here? I see. 16, huh? It's gotta be a delicate time. Which means I probably asked something I shouldn't have. I'm glad you're about our age. Just be cool and call me Battler. And I'll call you Cannon. Thank you very much. But the sentiment alone is sufficient, Battler-sama. Jessica looked panicky for some reason. She seemed to think my impression of Cannon was getting worse because of his refusal. Well, as a girl, Jessica probably couldn't understand a fretful male heart at this age. As its elder, even by just 2 years, I took it upon myself to be understanding of that. Okay, pal. Cannon-san, could you perhaps be a little more courteous? Okay, this is definitely forced. Like, if this were animated, his eye would most definitely be twitching. A smiling face is also part of a servant's duty. My apologies. I shall make an effort. Please give me a sprite where it's like the most awkward-looking smile ever. Oh, Goda-san, Cannon-san, or Cannon-kun, is trying to Let me restart this. Goda-san. Cannon-kun is trying his best, yes? It looked like he was often warned about being unsociable, and apparently he hadn't improved one bit. Goda-san kept his business smile, but let a small sigh of resignation escape. Oh, let me move my cursor. Well then, I still have work to do. If you'll excuse me. It looked like Cannon himself was uncomfortable with remaining silent here any longer. After another perfunctory bow, he turned around and started pushing a wheelbarrow again. Just then, the wheelbarrow suddenly wobbled and fell, scattering the load. I guess the wheelbarrow's single wheel got caught on a pebble and lost its balance. See, I can't tell if wheelbarrows are like the smartest or most stupid inventions ever. Like, wheelbarrows with one wheel, I've never liked them because I can't remember the last time I used a wheelbarrow, but I used to have one, and I just feel like it was just tip over. Like, the ones with two wheels, I feel make more sense, because, you know, less chance of falling over, more stable. But one wheel, like, sure, maybe you can turn slightly easier, but if you make one wrong move, it's tipping over and everything's falling out and you're gonna want to kill yourself. Also, a pebble knocked this over. What do you think you're doing? Now, clean it up quickly. Goda? Okay, I don't like this guy. Flat out, don't like him. He's your senior, basically. Cannon has been here longer than you, buddy. Who are you demanding around like that? Goda-san urged him to hurry in a quiet voice, as though hinting that it was shameful for a servant to appear clumsy in front of guests. Cannon-kun wordlessly reloaded the wheelbarrow with the fallen objects, as if to say that he understood quite well without being told. He seemed to be fine with the light-looking garden tools, shovels and such, but he looked like he was having trouble getting his arms around and lifting up some sacks of fertilizer. Are you okay? You're so careless. I just lifted up a bag of soil the other day. I mean, it was a pretty small bag of soil. We didn't need much, because, my mom was, moving some aloe vera from, the pot to some smaller pots, because those things multiply like crazy. But, just a small bag of soil. It wasn't even that heavy, so but, you know, dirt and that kind of stuff gets dense the more there is, so. Are you okay? You're so careless. Here. My lady, you will dirty your garments. Please leave this to us. With a smooth motion, Goda-san took the shovel that Jessica had picked up. Behind him, Cannon-kun was having trouble with the sacks of fertilizer. Ooh, you'll dirty your garments? Don't worry, the ones I'm wearing aren't that expensive. Besides, I hate guys who just sit there and make the waitress pick up the fork they dropped at a restaurant. Honestly, I really do like Battler's fit. Like, genuinely, probably one of the coolest ones I've seen. Hold on. You know what? Ranking my top 5 outfits for the characters. Number 5. Oh honestly, let's see. Let me take a look. Okay. Number 5, I'm gonna give to Rosa. Number 4 goes to Kiri. 3 goes to Maria. And honestly, I'm split between, honestly, depending on how I'm feeling, either Ava or Battler come first. Because both their fits just go crazy. Like, come on, bro's got studded, like, yeah, studded pant legs. Like, come on, bro. But then some people, not to name names, have some interesting color palettes or outfits. No offense, George, but the I don't even know what color this is. Is this green or is this yellow? It's not quite yellow, but it's not quite green either. It's like a weird mix. I know there's a color for it too. I'm like envisioning it in my mind's eye, but I can't think. But anyways, that's my ranking so far. But we are missing what, 6 people? Maybe I'm gonna change my ratings once we get those people. Well, actually, okay, I've seen Kenzo. His is not up there, especially because of his tie. Because the way that thing is tucked in. And then Nanjo, the doctor. I lifted up the other bags that had fallen. Of course, they weren't light, but for me it was a piece of cake. You know, those shady mail-order steroids. Kanekun looked at me, surprised. It was the face of someone who never would have expected to receive help from a guest. Battler-sama, don't worry about it. I will take care of everything, so... Don't you worry. I may not look it, but I'm good at where it counts. Since Kanekun looked like he hadn't yet gone through his growth spurt, he was stuck with a sorta weak body. Okay, chill. The kind of weight might have been too much for him. It's quite heavy. It's natural that it would be difficult for you. Yeah, with your little twig arms. Don't worry about it, Kanekun. Okay, my time to shine. This makes up for the boat stuff from before, right? Oh, we'll see about that, Battler. You know, I can't wait to tell everybody inside the house. As if this could make up for freaking out like that. Later, I'll tell you about it too, Kanekun. Battler was totally hilarious. Gonna fall. As they did this, I piled all the stuff back into the wheelbarrow. I beg your forgiveness for letting you witness such unsightliness. Come now, that's quite enough. Please go. I hate this smarmy bitch. Look at him, look at that face, he's so punchable. Letting the guests, who were supposed to feel welcome, see such a disgraceful thing must have been hideously embarrassing for a servant. Pressed by Goda to hurry up and go, Kanekun left. You're too harsh on him, Goda-san. Shouldn't you have helped him instead of being a bully? Yeah, you're a grown man, he's 16. Like, you are at least 40. That was wrong of me. I deeply implore your forgiveness. That doesn't look like a man begging for forgiveness. Without even a twitch and a smile, Goda-san apologized elegantly. Oh my god. This guy. Kanekun has a ton of things he's good at too. Just that being young works against him all the time. It's a crying shame. Well, it's a prickly age. Let's just leave him be. After all, closed-mouthed servants are the best kinds. Isn't that right, Kumasawa-san? Oh, Rudolph-sama, you truly are harsh. There is no servant as silent as me, of course. Everyone smiled wryly at that obvious lie. Even she herself didn't believe that, not in her wildest dreams. So she must have said it to lighten the mood. Yeah, that's the kind of character Kumasawa Ba-chan used to be. The once stiff atmosphere had cleared up at once thanks to her cheerful smile. I'd like to set down our luggage soon. Goda-san, what rooms are we all going to take? It shall be the same as the previous year. Allow me to guide you. Please, this way. We headed towards a trim, elegantly simple guest house. This was going to be our temporary quarters for the night. Oh, it's quite the string of ellipses there. What are you pondering? Cannon watched over a hedge as the guests all entered the guest house. Then he let his eyes fall on those heavy sacks of fertilizer piled up in a wheelbarrow. In his mind, he kept going over his previous mistake. Battler, big and strong, had picked up these sacks in front of him. The sacks Cannon couldn't lift himself, as if they were feathers. It would be extremely difficult for an outside observer to guess what emotions that favor had stirred up in Cannon. But as far as you could tell by watching him hang his head, there was something that he just couldn't let go of. Muttered words escaped his lips, but those words he murmured were so soft that they didn't even reach his own ears. Even I. Cannon hung his head slightly, biting his lower lip. Poor guy. I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but I really love the music so far. It's just so peaceful and well orchestrated. I remember the rose garden, but I don't remember this guest house at all. Was it built recently? Tarayan, Visitor's Retreat, was written on a gatepost-like thing, but since everyone called it the guest house, I followed their lead. The brand new Western-style guest house, which stood overlooking the roses, had a magnificent design carefully done in harmony with the garden. Correct. It was built the year before last. Ever since then, they've had us sleep over here. This place is more fun than that junky old mansion you knew. I wish my room was over here. Ooh, I want a room here too. I want one. I guess you could say my own house was upper class, but to me it felt completely ordinary compared to the head family. The display of wealth was shocking, as was the fact that they'd built this kind of awesome guest house for guests who came over only a few times a year. Eva-sama, Hideyoshi-sama, please do make use of this room. Rudolph-sama, Kiri-sama, please take this room here. I really do love how beautiful and elegant this place is. Western-style architecture truly is wonderful. I can't handle Western design for a few days, but any longer than that, you need the good old Japanese look. Japanese people just relax best on tatami mats. I know I keep saying this every time I think of something, but this really reminds me of, oh no, just that line reminds me of, there's this anime, K, or K Project, depending on where you look. In the first episode, there's this moment where the main character, Shiro, he just says, I love Japan! And then it pans out, and it just keeps, like, at first it pans out on the island that the school is on, then it pans out to, like, you know, the immediate city area, and then it just keeps going out until it's, like, until you can see the entire country of Japan on the globe. And it's one of the funniest moments in the series, because I don't think it was necessary, but, you know, sure, Shiro, you love Japan. Which is crazy considering what happens, later, but, I'm not gonna say anything, because, you know, spoilers and all that. You should watch K, though. It's actually really, really good. They've been fighting over whether to make our new house Japanese style or Western style. Mom still holds a grudge about Dad having the construction started with the Japanese layout, and they bicker all the time about it. I'm really jealous, George Nissan. Your parents get along well, don't they? Mine are so frosty. Then again, they're always in sync when it comes to my grades. Couldn't be me. I get good grades. All the rooms seemed to be for 2 people. I was grateful since I wasn't going to be forced to share the same room with the old bastard under the pretext that we were family. Anyways, I figured those 2 wouldn't be able to enjoy themselves with someone like me around. Alright. What's with that creepy smile? You're thinking about something dirty, aren't you? Something dirty? Of course not. Oh, Battler. Please enjoy your stay. Oh, ow. Is your father grabbing your ear again? It hurts, you old bastard. Once again, Dad pulled my ears from behind. Cut the crap. I'm getting a stomachache and I'm not in a mood for this. You're the guest of honor this time around, so play as nice as possible with Dad, Naniki, and the rest. At the very least, be careful of what you say in front of Dad. Got it? I don't want you messing with my share of the inheritance. If I get taken off that will because of you... ooh, the things I'll do to you. Because wisecracks don't go too well with him. Jessica-chan, what's the head's mood been like lately? Same as last year, I guess. Considering they say he's got 3 months left to live, he's as lively, grumpy, and irritable as ever. Meaning this year, he's in his usual bad mood. And as usual, the only one who's able to look after him is Genji-san. It seems the master will open his heart to no one else. Lately, us small people have not even been granted an audience with him. He shut himself in his study again, probably doing nothing but that weird black magic of his. Well, I see where Maria gets it from. What he does for a hobby is his own damn business, but when he starts stinking up the house, it really gets on my nerves. I wish he'd never come out of that study again. You shouldn't talk like that about the elderly. They may be senile and good for nothing, but, you know, filial piety and all that. We're all indebted to him since he rebuilt the Ushiramiya family. We should be more grateful. Well... sorry. After being rebuked by George and Inky, Jessica had no choice but to take back her thoughtless remark. No, Jessica, don't do that. Just because people are old doesn't mean they automatically deserve respect. Just saying that. The Ushiramiya family was wealthy beyond belief, but of course that meant all its members were a bit strange, and completely out of touch with the world at large. And at the top of the chain, the family head, our grandfather, seemed especially strange and terrifying, even for our family. Dad said he was getting a stomachache earlier, and I imagine that reflected the honest feelings of all the adults here today. No doubt that they were jealous of us grandchildren, who could just play around and laugh without a care. You know, I'm glad I don't have, like, a big, elaborate family that I'm, like, close to. But, I mean, I just can't imagine this family in a real-life setting, because I've never known any people rich enough to, 1, own an entire island, and 2, have a family conference every year. A conference? Really? But, I don't know. I just don't know. From the stories Dad told me, the family head was a violent man who ruled with his fists, beating his children, even his daughters, mercilessly with a wooden sword. If he was so strict and uptight about that, why couldn't he have been a little more conservative with his kids' names? Because of that, even his grandkids had to suffer. Yeah, I mean, I guess the names aren't that odd to me, considering I live in a place where those names are common, but I can see how it'd be rough there. Anyway, I can't say I have any trouble believing those terrifying stories about him. I don't remember meeting him very often, but I think I recall him looking extremely grumpy all the time, always making people cower with that sharp gaze of his. I remember that the room's atmosphere got so tense whenever he was around, you couldn't even breathe. What my dad said about me being the guest of honor now carries a little more oomph for me. 6 years ago, I was in elementary school. I'm a high schooler now. You were 12 and in elementary school? I don't think I was 12 in elementary. Hold on. Oh, well, maybe elementary school works different in Japan, doesn't it? Because, how old was I? Let me do some math real quick, because, let's see. So I'm subtracting How many years? Okay. I was 11. No, I don't think I was quite 11 yet. I have a summer birthday after the school year, so I always turned an age after. So I think it was 10 in 6th grade. Well, that's where elementary school ended for me, at least. Because, the middle school I went to was 7th and 8th grade exclusively. So, elementary school was K through 6th. Ugh, scary. He does look frightening, but he's not so terrifying that you need to tense up like that. Nothing of what he says is truly unreasonable, except when he was losing his mind over Beatrice, but, you know, whatever. He may be clumsy at talking, but he's a very logical person. Yes, because screaming Beatrice... But George, son, you've been the family darling since, like, forever because of your awesome grades, right? Grandfather treats us completely different. Even gotten slapped with a wooden sword. On my ass. On my ass! On my mainly innocent ass! Well, you're the heiress of the head family, Jessica-chan. Grandfather is giving you special attention. You've got to realize that his strictness reflects his high hopes for you. This is so 80s coded. Oh, come on. Seriously, I could just turn the succession over to you, George Nissan. It's a bit of a heavy burden for me to carry. I think I already said it before, but Jessica's the girl heir to the head family. We're only cousins in branch families, so she probably feels a totally different sort of pressure than we do. Jessica Oni-chan is that heavy? If I help hold it, will it get lighter? Thanks. It's okay. I'm not gonna push it on you, Maria. I'm gonna bear this cross until my grave. Don't worry. She was grateful that Maria's innocent concern, but Jessica's face still seemed to contain some of the uneasiness she felt towards the future. Maybe we were in the same boat. Any high schooler with exams approaching would have trouble hiding their anxiety for the future. Couldn't be me. I never studied. Not once did I study. Maybe I looked over something, but I didn't study, and I mostly succeeded. Mostly, I had some, I had a fault. Maria, come here. You and I will be in this room. Butler-kun, I heard you're gonna be with me in this room here. Well, doesn't that work out perfectly for everyone? Oh? Now there's a surprise. It's bigger than our parents' room. Dang. Well, I figured if we cousins would all want to hang out together. So I told them to get a bigger room ready. Ooh, I like it here more too. I'd rather be here than with Mama. Ooh. Oh, you like it better here too, Maria? Okay, this room is George's and mine, but we'll give you a special permission to come in. Better keep it a secret from your mom, okay? Ooh, it's a secret. Aunt Rosa was right behind us, but Maria still answered, striking the air with her fists clenched tight. Well, you know what? I think I'm gonna end it here. We've made some progress. I mean, luggage has been set down. We know where we're sleeping for the night. And, we've met 2 new people. We've met Goda, who I hate, and Kanen, who is quite curious. And we've been alluded to Shannon, who is a similar servant. Well, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Bye!